let's get started. Let's see. We should be live now. Okay. So what we'll be doing here today is I enabled a couple of plugins to help me with retopologizing first and foremost, because what we have here, you might be not able to see it on stream, but this thing has 338,000 vertices, which is just like a little too much. If I go into a wireframe, you'll see like the hood itself and the body aren't that bad. If I again disable this, like this body, it's fine, right? We don't care about that. That's fine. It's this cape cloak thing that is way overmeshed, and then these arms as well are just insanely dense. Like there's no reason for this to be this dense, especially since these things aren't even going to bend to begin with. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this section and this section alone, but then these arms we're going to retopologize first, and then we'll get to the cape after that as well. The reason I'm doing this and not just using instant mesh is because number one, it's good to just do this on your own every so often, and number two is it does a decent enough job on the cape. Although I can gain a lot of performance still in just doing this by hand, because this thing doesn't have to be more than like 1,000 faces, right? And at the moment it's like 150,000. Even if I pull this through instant mesh, it's still going to be like 10 or 20,000, so that's not great. And if I just remesh it in Blender here, these two things are going to stick to each other. Let's go into solid view. Like these are two very distinctly separate pieces of the mesh. Remeshing them also makes them stick together, and instant mesh also has a bit of a problem with that. And then we have these arms which have these little details here in the, I've been using ZBrush and and Substance Painter, and everything has their own freaking navigation, and it's actually the worst. But these little fingers here, instant mesh doesn't like that. It just gets rid of them altogether. So at that point I could just like get rid of these and only remesh these big bones in there. But you know, we might as well just do it all by hand, because what we are getting at here is I've enabled a couple of add-ons that are going to make this easier, in theory anyway. I haven't used most of these add-ons before, so this is going to be a learning experience for everybody involved. But if we initialize with this is called B surfaces, if we initialize, it will add a empty mesh, at least in theory. It doesn't seem to have added the empty mesh. Why is that? Let's try again. It's not doing it. Do we need to be in edit mode for it? That would be weird. It's not adding the mesh. It did it like literally a moment ago though. What if I add surface? Specify the name of the object with retopology. Yeah, it's not doing this. That's a great start to the stream, isn't it? Is it freaking out because this thing has a mirror modifier on it? Because I'm happy to just apply that. Yeah, it's not doing the thing, is it? Why not? I'm going to be real with you, I'm not entirely sure. But what that does remind me of is the fact that we probably want to separate these things anyway, because that's going to make it easier to, number one, retopologize, and number two, we're going to want that for Substance Painter anyway. So let's separate by loose parts. And that's not going to be amazing because that's now going to separate out these bits as well. And these we actually probably want to have in one object. So let's rejoin those. And everything else can be loose parts. I think that works out fine. Maybe we need to give these things names. There's going to be a lot of separate empty object or separate loose objects here, but we'll get back to that in a moment. Okay, initialize. It's not doing the thing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just open up Blender again and see if that it's just a bug that I can fix by opening it up again. So if we go back into my edit view, I think then maybe we have to re-enable the B-mesh and the F2. And while we're at it, let's check whether or not loop tools. I think that should be, yeah, loop tools already had that. Okay, try again. Initialize. It's not adding the B surface mesh. Why not? I just had a video open about this exact thing, just because I was curious as to how these plugin works. So let's go through my YouTube history real quick. And see retopology. Had a good thumbnail as well. Let's see. Am I doing anything wrong? Doesn't look like it. I know you guys can't see. It's this tutorial, by the way. If you're curious, on CG Boost's channel, that was following along. Edit with the object selected, initialize. So we for sure have the object selected. We can initialize, but it's not adding the empty mesh. Why not? Let's just for shits and giggles remove this annotation real quick. Let's just try what happens if we... It's just refusing to generate the mesh. All of these things are actually really badly named. Oh, hold on, it's because it... You can just put in a mesh manually there, and then it won't generate a new one. Okay, we figured it out. Where did I put my stylus? That took me way too long to figure out. Let's just pretend like that never happened, okay? Because that was a little bit embarrassing. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is not already have a mesh in there, and then we can initialize, and it makes a new mesh with nothing in it. And what we can do there is get our annotation thing here, and we can just draw in, and it is real bad drawn in, I am aware, but I'm not working on a particularly great angle. I'm gonna be real with you. Probably Doesn't help that I have a microphone in front of my face. And frankly, this is the kind of thing where I'm like, yeah, I have got a drawing tablet, but having a drawing tablet with like a screen on it would be very helpful right about now. Let's see if I add surface here. It's going to like add the surface there, but it's very low resolution, obviously. Much too low of a resolution, as a matter of fact. So let's add. Why are you snapping to either side here? I don't want you to do that. Is it such small detail that it... I'm also for the first time using Blender 4, and I feel like that it's not helping my case too much here. You know what? That works, kind of. So, how is everybody doing this fine weekend? Let's see how we're going to... First and foremost, actually, let's hide a few of these objects, because we're not gonna... use them for the time being. So hide all of this. There's a very good chance that I'll spend pretty much the entire stream just for the retopology here, because there's going to be a lot of those little fingers, and I can probably reuse quite a few of them, but definitely not all of them. So that said, let's get back into edit mode here, and I think there is a option here somewhere that's already enabled that helps with the view for retopology. Okay. Now with the... yeah, that doesn't work with that one. Okay. With the F2 add-on, what we can do is we can just grab this little vertex here and get fucked. There's probably some overlapping geometry there, which is fucking me over. So we can grab this and just very easily, like that, make a new face, which really, really does help quite a lot with this whole retopologizing thing. So you can see how much less detailed this is than the insane mesh that we had before. And we can just add like a loop cut here. And we probably at some point will want to subdivide this entire thing, maybe. I don't know. For the time being, let's just try to like extrude this up a little bit. Something's going horribly wrong there. It's fine, we can fix that. And again, let's try to not select those edges, only these ones. And we can extrude them up a little bit, and then let's start adding in some loop cuts again. For a tiny bit more detail. There is a add mirror modifier and other modifiers as well. Which definitely is not... we don't need the solidify modifier. I mean, subdivision isn't helping matters all that much. I'm gonna be real with you. But the fact that we're immediately modeling the ones over there is kind of good. So that's nice. Now, the annoying bit always is the fact that you'll be clipping through your old mesh. It's kind of hard to see when that is an issue and when that is Like, this looks pretty decent. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh god, which one was it? It's this one. Okay. Let's actually get rid of subdivision for now as well. I don't think we necessarily need that. I don't know what's going on with the edges being all weird, but I think what I want to do here is just complete this little loop around here and have this thing not freak the fuck out on me. That would be great. And oh, that's not the right key. I'll have this one. Hello, I just want to zoom out. Again, it's been a few days of bouncing back between different programs, and that's kind of messing with my brain. So we want to connect. Oh god, we want to connect up to there, meaning that this one also should be somewhat down around here. And then we can bridge those two. Okay, that's a good start, because now we can use the F2 modifier or add-on thing again. And that makes life just so much easier. Also, probably auto merge back on. It's not particularly sensitive, is it, the auto merging? Do we have settings for that? Hello, hello, hello. I am mildly panicking. Like, this is... Those two are not merged right now. Why not? Because if I select all and I merge by distance, those are definitely still not gonna merge. What the fuck? Oh no, they are merged. It just... Where is this weird ass random vertice coming from? I suppose we might as well just merge it into those other ones as well, right? Surely connecting up things that I have no idea where they came from can't ever be a bad idea. Surely that's a good idea. We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. We take this one, pull it down there. I'm slowly getting the hang of this. I wish... First and foremost that the thing would snap to the vertices that it's going to be merging with. Because I'm pretty confident that it should do that, but that might be like an option. Threshold... Let's put that up to like 1 centimeter. For now, anyway. I think that will help. I think it was just not sensitive enough before. So yeah, I also wish, the thing that I was actually going to say, that feels a lot better, that I could disable the wireframe in like the back faces as well. I think that would help me a lot. But I think that is because I have in front set up. Do I? No, do I not? I feel like somewhere in here that is being set. Display wire. I don't know. I'm kind of too lazy to figure it out at the moment, honestly. It's not distracting me that much. It's just distracting me a little bit. Which is still annoying, don't get me wrong. But it's not worth it for me to go looking through how to disable that at the moment. And maybe move this one about a little bit more. Definitely are going to need a couple more like loop cuts in here as well. For some detail. Well, anyway, this bone is coming along quite fine. It's not that difficult. Oh, we're back on the cheese train now. Oh. Yeah, that... Hold on. Let's get rid of those loop cuts until we actually have loops. That might not be a bad idea. Anyway, we're back on the cheese train now. I mean, I don't mind. Cheese is good. Wait, is there one more loop cut that I don't know. We'll figure it out as we get to that. I suppose what I can try to do is... Oh my god, these loops are fucked. These loops are very fucked. Hold on. Where does it go wrong? Somewhere it goes horribly, horribly wrong already. Like, obviously we can just... do that. And then pull these all down a bit. That makes sense. I think. Maybe. I mean, I imagine that cheese is probably one of the easiest things that you could sculpt because it's usually just like a block or like a slice or whatever. It's not a lot of detail to some cheese. That said, bones should be relatively easy too, and I seem to be having a spot of trouble with that as well, so what the fuck do I know? Like, what even is going on here? Hold on, let's go back. Something's gone a little bit wrong again. Still getting used to to these plugins. That's the wrong key. Okay, so far so good. I mean, it could be going worse. I think we're going to actually end up lining up decently here. And if not, I'm just going to panic. And we'll figure it out when we get to it. There's 2 more edges there, and there's 2 more edges there. That, in my math, lines up. Let's actually check. Can we simply just F? No, we cannot. We most definitely cannot do that. Okay, something's going wrong here again, and that is that these 2 are not merging Why the fuck are these two not merging? Hello? You guys? Become one. This chicken leg is one of the bones that we made on our character last time. So I don't know if it's necessarily very tasty, because it is just a skeleton. What the fuck? Why are you... Oh, that way around you merge. Fucking of course you do. Why not? There seem to be some merging related... That's not the key I needed to use. There seem to be some merging related issues going around here, but nothing we can't fix. Hopefully. Okay. I'm still kind of weirded out by the fact that it only seems to be merging these vertices together if I move this one and not the other one, but let's pretend like that's not an issue. Okay, now let's extrude this one out, and that one, that makes 1, 2, 3, 4 faces. This top bit is going to be a little bit annoying, because I do want it to be a quad, and at the moment it's not seeming like that's going to be a thing. Okay, let's try to figure this out, okay? I've got a plan. I've got a plan. It's probably not a good plan, but that's a triangle. That's not what I wanted. I mean, strictly speaking, that is a quad. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of other people on today. I don't for sure know if it's going to be releasing on any other platforms. At the moment, the plan is mostly PC, though. Yeah, but maybe at some point we'll change that around to also release on like Xbox or PlayStation or whatever. Not entirely sure at the moment. Okay, so if we connect these up, that makes this a quad, and I think that just, yeah. That makes everything quads around here. Fantastic. Okay, is that a little messy? It's actually not as bad as I thought it was gonna be, I'm gonna be honest with you. Mobile would be quite profitable, yeah, but this would not run on a mobile device, so there's literally zero chance of that. As much as I would like to believe that I could make this work on mobile, this is not gonna run on mobile. Very much like including the Nintendo Switch in mobile there. This is it's just not gonna happen. Maybe whatever comes after the Switch, because it's going to be a while before I release this anyway. Maybe the Switch 2, or whatever it's going to be called, will be powerful enough to run this. But honestly, the Switch is such a piece of junk. As far as like strictly computing performance goes, it has great games on it. Let's see, what does this look like? I mean, with a little bit of subdivision, that probably is actually not too bad. So let's try to add subdiv. I wonder, if I do subdivision before the shrink wrap, does that does maintain the volume a lot better. Okay, that's really, really good to know. Yeah, so now this bone has... It's not complete yet, obviously. There certainly are phones out there at the moment that are more powerful than a Switch. That's honestly not a lot of them, but some of them, at this point, they are. So yeah, at the moment, these two bones together are, let's see, 850 faces, and the original is 6,500. So that's a great improvement. The CPU cores on a Switch are like the efficiency cores of a mobile. I mean, yeah, if you're comparing it to like flagship devices like iPhones or the Galaxy S series, those kind of things, I'm sure that at this point the most modern ones do outperform the Nintendo Switch, but most mobile phones are not that. Unfortunately. Okay, that doesn't work that well. I was afraid of that. %70 of phones? That sounds like a made-up statistic, but kind of depends on what you mean with 70%. Is it 70% of the models or 70% of people, of phones that are actually like used by people? Because that also is an important distinction. Let's disable subdiv because it's maybe not actually, maybe it's fine. No, it's definitely not fine. Let's re-enable subdiv. Because there's probably only a few models that realistically really outperform the Switch at this point, but those are the models that people mostly use, like the iPhone, or like the OnePlus, whatever we're on at this point. Those kind of phones. But there's a lot of people that are on budget phones that fucking suck. There's kind of the issue with mobile as well, is that even like for iPhone it's not that big a deal because they don't have as wide a hello, what the fuck am I even doing? They don't have as wide of like a product lineup, but if you're also developing for Android at the same time, like what the fuck are you supposed to do? There's about 2 million Android phones out there. And I don't mean like literal phones. I mean models. Your game is gonna run shit on like half of them. The fuck are you supposed to do about that? Well, not that much. But at that point, you develop for the lowest common denominator. That is reasonable to assume that people are working with, and that's just not that low. That's just not that high. I mean, the lowest common denominator for the phone market. But yeah, there is a reason that Switch ports of games are usually the mobile version. Warzone runs on a $150 phone. I have to imagine that that is a severely scaled down version. Which you might not notice because you're playing it on like a 6-inch screen, but still. Which also holds true for the Switch. You also play on a small small screen with the Switch, obviously, but you can still dock it. Okay, let's close these loops first, and then we'll carry on with adding loops. Once again, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do here. Except maybe we like try to do something like, no, like that. Yeah, I think the bottom here is going to end up with much better topology than the top, if I had to guess, because now I'm actually thinking about what I'm doing. And this, I mean, if we move this like, we'll look about what we'll do about the actual layout of things in a moment here. First and foremost, let's just close this thing the fuck up. And that creates a triangle on either side. Fuck. But we still have a loop. No, we do not have a loop. I mean, if we don't have intact loops anyway, does it really matter what we do? Where is the looping issue anyway? $1080-60 FPS, yeah, okay, but just a resolution doesn't really say much about graphic settings and stuff. Resolution is definitely a important part of performance, obviously. But that doesn't even come close to telling the entire story. Okay, let's add the loops now, just so that I have a bit of a feel on how things actually operate in the loops. Because, oh my god, this is so fucked. Like, this has to connect up to that. And then this has to connect up to that one. Okay. Let's get started with that one first then. Because that, oh my god, okay. I feel like the loops are not gonna go too well here. I'm not gonna lie. What the hell am I even doing? Why is that the wrong way around? Why do you do this to me? This whole snapping thing with edges isn't really doing its thing, is it? But hey, at least this selects an entire loop, so we've got that going for us. I have a iPhone 13 Pro. But like that's kind of my point though, is it looks really good on a phone screen because it's very, very small and you get away with a lot more. Oh, that's a triangle. Is that going to be an issue? It might be an issue. Doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue. So that is fine. No, not a rich guy, just somebody who has a phone plan. people buying phones up front is insane to me these days. Like back in the day, maybe that was fine, but these days the idea of just buying a phone outright is just fucking impossible. I just have a phone plan for like a 2-year contract in which I pay for this iPhone, at which point it's like I pay about $20 a month for the phone or something, which means that I end up paying about like 160% of the actual price. But that's just how the world works. Not much you can do about that. In the same way, I can't do much about how does that loop around like that? That makes no fucking... Oh, it's because... Why am I worried about looping things properly here at the bottom if the loops are just going to get fucked up at the top anyway? Let's just... I don't care. That's 1, that's 2, and that's finished. Good. No, that is... that is just a phone. The total phone plan is like 40 some a month. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. I quite like the look of this one. So if we like disable this cylinder and go back into object mode, that's my bone, which has at the moment 2,500 faces compared to just one bone with, again, about 13,000. So fucking optimized as hell. I don't know. I wouldn't really say that $40 is rich guy territory, but sure. Yeah, no, this looks pretty good. Quite happy with that. So let's call this top arm bones. And we can move on to the next one. Also, hide these. Yeah, people using phones for like social status has always been a little bit weird to me, to be honest. And frankly, I probably shouldn't have a phone this expensive because I don't use it a lot, but I really do like the quality screen that it has. I really like the clarity of the screen. And the fact that it has a good camera, that's mostly... Oh my god, this is horrible. Is that a... No, that's not good. No. Your phone... I'm pretty sure... Doesn't Apple still produce its own screens? So if you... Or has that changed by now? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see how well it does with this. This is probably going to be real bad because my strokes are so fucked. I'll just add this surface. And then we can add a little bit more detail, add a little bit more... that's probably good. That's a good start. I mean, I don't really care for iOS, to be honest. And the fact that you can't sideload apps onto an iPhone, which is fucking insane. Especially as a developer, if I wanted to make an iOS game, that would be then significantly more annoying. Because I can't just sideload my own APK onto the phone. Though I suppose, at least for Unreal, I don't know how that is for Unity, but at least for Unreal, you can just stream the game to your phone or something like that. At least, again, with Android, I don't know if and how that works if you're on an iPhone, but I imagine that that does make things slightly more painful to work with. I mean, if you want to, if you want to pirate, also not a great platform to be on, obviously. But even without it being pirating, just generally, this is not great. Just in general, side loading. What if you want a app that's just like on somebody's website? First and foremost, don't just, of course, install random apps. But if you, if it's like a small company or something that's not publishing on the Google Play Store for whatever reason, it happens. Yeah, that'll do for now. We'll fight that later. If you have an iPhone, that's just literally not possible and you're just fucked, right? With Android, at least you can do that. I still don't advise you do that too often because, again, don't just install random APKs that you get off a random website on a device that has all of your personal data on it, and likely also like your bank details and stuff like that these days. Doesn't seem like a great idea to install random crap on. Which is not to say that things on the Play Store itself or the Apple Store always are necessarily safe, but there's a bigger chance that they are at least somewhat safe. iOS will allow it soon, yeah. European Union is doing its thing again, running Apple for us. And just to be clear, if I slurred that pronunciation a little bit, I said running, not ruining. I'm not an Apple fanboy. Quite the opposite, in fact. I don't really like Apple as a company. But they do be making good phones now. I mean, if you don't have bank details to worry about, number one, you still have like just personally identifying information that you don't want any random fuckhead on the internet to access. I can pretty much guarantee that. And besides, even if you like don't have a bank account that you're worried about getting like fucked over right now, you will in the future. But I suppose that means you can be a little bit more carefree about whatever you do or do not download at the moment. Let's see, I assume that this... Oh wait, that's not connected to anything yet, obviously. So I am making this loop at the moment. So move this over here. And then this should now be a loop, right? It is. That's genius. Okay, that's great. Then can we just say fill and fill? Oh, we can. And the same here, fill and fill. Fantastic. I'll read apologizing. Do I have? I'll have the project open here. I'm apologizing this guy. Probably should close this project. Don't have the same project open twice. Which is at the moment about 340,000 vertices. And we need to get that down to a reasonable amount. So read apologizing it is. Which does remind me, I do want to add a mirror modifier to this as well, to mirror it over to that side, and then also a subdivision which we'll put up here. And now we'll start adding a little bit more. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's try to move this edge. Oh my god, this is making it a lot worse. Probably also add some geometry in this direction, right? I don't know what's... Oh, it's snapping because... Oh my god, I finally understand what the issue is. Hotkey for this is just S, right? No? Shift tab. Okay, this is still real weird. Something is not... I know what's going on. I know what's going on. This thing is looping weirdly because we don't have the bottom of it done yet. So let's finish that up. And try not to lose my mind doing it, preferably. Don't go calling people that are 23 years old old, because I'll be feeling even older. I don't like feeling old. Let's center around these bits. Okay. We're working towards that edge over there, I believe. So let's make our way over there. And we can also pull these things out a little wider. Okay. How are we going to deal with that? Wait a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's supposed to go into this one. Well, let's all move them over. And hopefully this will kind of work. It's probably going to be hell on earth, but hey, we'll manage. Okay, that seems a bit better. Like, aside from the fact that this geometry is all over the place. I heard about a trick. If we just duplicate this and we go into like object mode, we apply this, that should make things act a little bit more predictably, from what I understand. This is just not... I don't understand what's going on. I'm thoroughly confused. Okay, I think I've got it now. I can just fill. And sure, we're so close to having proper looping. But I don't care, let's just fill. And then we can fill, and fill. And that in theory should now allow us to just subdivide, increase that. Turn this off, go back into object mode. Any advice on how to become a good software engineer? I don't, but the picking a language and sticking to that seems like a really good start. So, yeah, do start with that. That seems like a pretty good piece of advice. Hello? It's doing some weird snapping due to the looping issue. So we kind of still have to spam subdivide here. Wait, how do I have so many faces? Is it literally? Okay, if I... that's fine. Somewhere in here we have... Where is it? Not remesh? God, no. Somewhere in here we should have like viewport display. Object, viewport display, wireframe. If you now shade this smooth, that's pretty good. Lower arm bone 1. And while we're at it, let's go back to top arm bones. And there as well, turn off the wireframe and set this to shade smooth. And we've made 2 bones again. Right now, I am apologizing this motherfucker because this is not gonna run well in engine because it's got way too much going on here. And it has too many little details to do it automatically. So I'm doing it by hand, which is a very long and tedious process before I can even get started on UV unwrapping this fucking thing. we've done that one, we've done that one. I suppose this one is next. I mean, it kind of depends on what you want to do, whether or not you should spend your time and money on going to college, and whether you are like, that's the kind of environment that you require to learn. For some people, that is definitely the best option. For other people, it's not. Okay, so let's think this through ever so slightly more than I did before. What we're going to do is I'm going to zoom in a lot, and we're going to just, no, try to draw somewhat straight lines, and we're going to draw one of them here, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's add surface. That seems like a pretty good start. Okay. Let's turn off the other bones again, because they're distracting. Okay, so let's Control Z my mistake away there. And then what you do is we extrude. Okay, so far this feels a bit more like it's doing what I wanted to do. And then these can connect like that. And then from here, we can very easily keep adding geometry like that. Okay, I'm getting into the groove of this. That's not what I wanted to do. Just as I say I'm getting into the groove of things, I mess up, because of course I do. But this is starting to be slowly but surely a less painful process now. That being said, this is just literally making a cylinder, obviously. It's nothing too complex yet. So there's plenty of time for things to still go wrong, is really what I'm trying to say. Twitch is not liking me today. Nobody is showing up on Twitch, which is fine, because I prefer people showing up on YouTube anyway. But you know, it's kind of nice to have people around all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to try this one more time. It's because it's projecting. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just pull this one row down all the way. And then I suppose we can just rotate this a little bit every so often. And we can always add some more geometry in a moment. So let's just do this the rough way first. And then I'll wait doing the rest until I've got everything filled in. I can't do that, right? No. I'm afraid I can't. Okay. That's kind of annoying. People in India really don't use Twitch? I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't really watch Twitch to begin with. Only stream on it. So that very well could be the case. But if that is the case, I do wonder why nobody in India specifically would use Twitch. Like, is there less of a gaming culture over there or something? Because then it would make a bit of sense. Look, if there were people on Twitch right now, I could ask them, but nobody's fucking watching on Twitch, so it'll forever be a mystery. That's not it. That's not it either. Come on. No. Unconnect those, please. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure if there's a lot of people that still like game and stream, there's plenty of reason to use Twitch, right? I don't see why you wouldn't. Like, I don't give a shit about Twitch, but I'm still streaming to it. If anybody on Twitch is watching this, I do care. As soon as they make me affiliate, I will care a lot more. Eventually they will. It's just a matter of time before more than like 3 people at once show up for more than an hour. And if not, I'm streaming to you anyway, so like the whole Twitch thing is just kind of a bonus on top of that. Even if nobody watches there, it's not like I wasn't going to stream to begin with, so... How far along this bone are we? Oh, we've got quite a ways to go. Okay, let's keep going, because this, while quite tedious, is also really easy. Unless I'm gonna try to do it again, but I really can't do this, right? I can't, because it's... Can I do it like this? Is that going to be easier, is the question though, right? It feels faster. Oh, hold on. I know what I can do. Because you can do this, right? And then I can add surface. No? You can do a thing like this, which... Is it edit surface? There is a thing in here somewhere which... I forgot what the video that I watched about this said. Yeah, if you're this skinny, that's not good. You should eat more healthily. That's not a good thing. Yeah, okay, so this is not really doing what I wanted to do anyway. We'll just snap like this. And then I'll I just wish that it would pick the next vertice for me automatically. Okay, let's move things around a little, because this... No. It's kind of annoying to like have to go up here and then select the next vertex like that. It's not a big deal, but it is annoying. So why aren't you snapping? Let's merge by distance. No, I said merge by distance. Why aren't you merging? Oh, probably because it has two vertices that it could potentially merge with. I think that is the issue. I have no idea what 5... Okay, yeah, no, that's actually what I want. I have no idea what 5'7" is, but that still feels like it's really light for that height. I'm not sure because I don't speak Freedom Unit. I use a Sensible system called Metric. You might have heard of it. Is it Control Shift N to flip? There we go. $170 centimeters. Okay, that gives me a bit more reference. $48 though, still feels quite light. I'm no fucking dietitian or something though, so fuck if I know. Might be perfectly fine. Probably is. I feel like there must be a way for it to automatically select the next vertex after you move. Let me Google that actually, because that's gonna save me so much headache. Blender F2 add-on select next vertex. How do you select next edge? What does F2 do? Is there a way to create a face with only one vertex selected using the F2 add-on? It's a 10-minute video. I'm not going to watch a 10-minute video right now. You select the edge, you can fill the row without activating. Press F. Only one vertex selected. Default browns create triangle. Yeah, but I don't want triangles, you dipshit. Yeah, I'm not finding anything real quick. Surely there must be a way for it to automatically just select the next one over in the loop. Not that this is that bothersome to deal with, of course, because it's just like I have to move my stylus up a little bit every time I do this. And actually, because I'm working with a stylus, it might actually be preferred for it not to do that. Well, no, it would still be preferable if it did that. Now I think about it. No, it definitely would be. That's extrude. That's not what I wanted to do. Don't know why it's fucking me there now. Merge by distance. Do I have any overlapping vertices? I did. I don't know how or why, but I did. I'm going to do a little bit more research into this after the stream today to see whether or not there is any more reasonable way about this vertex selection, because again, I can't imagine that there isn't. This seems like something that somebody would have run into while developing this add-on. I'm probably just given up too quickly when trying to research this. Now, we're making good progress on the arms here, which is good, but in a moment we're going to get to the hands, and that is going to be a living hell. Because those things are fucking tiny. And there is a lot of them. Well, there's only 2 hands, but the fingers all have like 4 segments each. And some of those I can probably just copy over, but a lot of them I don't think I will be able to do that with. Oh, hold on, I made it to the bottom. Wow. That's actually really good. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, no, none of that. Turn off that bone. Okay, we're definitely going to need a little bit more resolution here because we're cutting a lot of corners. But really, this is going fine so far. We'll add that resolution in a moment and we'll be fine. Like we can just simply add some resolution here. And honestly, for the most part, I don't think we need to add that much more resolution to most bits here. Well, of course, add a subdivision at the very end here still. Again, I hate the fact that I'm jumping back and forth between so many different programs today. We can probably make it all the way up here without too much trouble. Having all those different programs all over the place makes it so hard to navigate. Every single 3D program just has to have its own set of like movement controls, and that's so annoying. It's a minor problem. I can probably just set the settings for ZBrush and Substance to what they need to be for me, but I haven't gotten around to do that yet. Let's pull all these vertices up. That's pretty good for now. Let's actually this loop. No, the loop, please. Make that our pivot point. That's going to make my life a lot easier. Hello there, Mr. Aspiring Pianist, which is just a fantastic name. I mean, it's a little bit of a weird place to ask things in a random stream chat, but, you know, if people here are happy to help you, I don't see why not to ask here. Gotta ask somewhere. I don't have to start getting racist about it. Okay, so these don't connect up very well at all. Well, it's not that bad actually. Now, the thing that I keep struggling with every single time is connecting up the tops and bottoms so that the loops are still intact. So let's try and do that again. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's no problem in asking people for their opinion and for help, right? Definitely find the people. Oh, wait a second. So this will connect up to that. So let's just connect them up right away. Maybe that's a good idea. No. Just like that and just like that. I must say, usually I just have my retopology done automatically because why wouldn't you, right? Just use Decimate or Quad Remesher. Well, I don't have Quad Remesher because it's expensive, but Instant Mesher is another good one. It's quite satisfying to see a proper low poly version coming together. That's not what I wanted to do. This seems like it's maybe going to be problematic. Is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is going to be an issue. I mean, it's not a great loop, but it's a loop. That's a loop. That's a loop. Again. I think these things loop all the way around, for the most part. Now, the... well, issue, I wouldn't call it an issue. Now the challenge will be matching these loops up down here. So let's see. This has to match up with... okay, that's gonna be a tough one, isn't it? For the most part, we can just start off by keeping like this technique going, I think. I mean, lack of social interaction can be a real issue. It's nice to have people online to hang out with. That said, it's not necessarily a good all-around replacement for lack of interaction in real life. But I guess if you're... that's another reason to potentially like go to college, right? Is to have that as well. Let's add some loops. Okay. This one connects up to that one all the way the fuck over here. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will just like pull this out. And start connecting from up like this, maybe. This is not gonna work very well. Actually, maybe. Hold on. Fill. 1, 2. It's a triangle. God damn it. That's gonna fuck something somewhere, isn't it? But now it should be a quad. Fill. I mean, it's not great, but it works. This should now select the entire loop. This should... let's see, if we do 1, then pull this one all the way around. So that fills that up, that fills that up. Connect, fill. Oh no. Oh no. Something's gone horribly wrong again. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just connect these two up. Add one loop cut, and I think we can then just fill and fill. Oh no, we still cannot. But then we can do that, and then we can fill and fill. I'm learning. And this one probably needs... a few added. No, that's real weird. It's real weird. Let's try to connect this up first in some halfway decent way. I think I'm just going to not care again. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I care. Because this somehow lines up with that one. Yeah, don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you. If we try to bridge that. I'm very happy that this now loops, but the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Well, actually, no, I think we can maybe salvage this, because this makes a certain amount of sense. Hold the fuck on. 1, 2, 3. Somebody's murdering a cat outside, because why not? It's probably not murdering a cat, it's just probably two cats fighting still. Fuck, I hope anyway. Merge by distance. That's a triangle, because of course it is. Let's subdiv this one. And that should then... We're getting there. It's mostly just like the flow here that's fucked up, but I think the actual topology, aside from that, is surprisingly salvageable. I am very scared to see what this... Okay, so this has to connect up with that. And then what do we do? Because here is where I get real scared. Okay, now we can do that. We can connect this up to there. And then see... Yeah, you see, that feels like... I think that fixed that issue. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I think we're still good. Maybe, just maybe... Hold on, no, that fucked me, I think. Did it? This looks pretty good. I think I filled the entire thing out, and with coherent edge flow. Did I actually make like a well topologized model here? I see a triangle, fuck. What made this triangle? What if I just like did that? That will probably not fix too much, would it? It does fix a thing? There's another triangle there. But maybe, just maybe we could... I think what we need to do is not that. We need to delete these faces. Because if we just connect this up like that, oh my god. Triangle there, triangle there. You know what? I have decided I don't care. This is plenty good enough. We'll turn off this cylinder, turn off the wireframe and go into here, add our mirror modifier, and our subdiv, which we'll put before the shrink wrap, pretty please. Cheese always helps. Cheese is always good. That's still about 3,000 faces, which is less than ideal. But that looks pretty good. Let's see if we apply this. That's still a big improvement over the actual mesh from the first version. So I think we'll take this. Bone middle 2. Let's turn everything I've done so far back on. So that's lower arm bone and top arm bones as well. So far we've done this, and this has turned out to be 8,000 faces. Okay. So this is 8,000 faces for both sides, so mirrored. Just one side before was 18,000, so I'm actually not gaining that much, all things considered. Well, no, that's not true. I'm gaining... Both sides was 8,000, so one side is 4,000. So I'm gaining 14,000 faces here so far. Which means that I am close to 1/5 the density that I was before. That's pretty good. I am hoping that these are just like not all that dense, and that is a vain hope. Yeah, these are very dense, still. Well, comparing them to what's up there, actually, it's not that bad. And these seem like a pain to deal with otherwise. So what we're going to do is these ones I'm just going to decimate. And we'll do this with unsubdividing. That seemed good enough. That might seem a little too much. If we shade them smooth. Yeah, I think we can deal with that. That's pretty good. Yeah, he does like cheese. People are random on the internet, what can I say? And now we get to these. Okay, so while we're at that, let's try to find the corresponding like hand bones here. Actually, matter of fact, let's just call these hand bones. And I don't have to find the corresponding ones because I can just mirror them. Right? Come on, you can't call somebody else out being weird and then the first thing you ask somebody online that you don't know is whether or not they're a girl. Like, you can't do both of those things. Like, you can do one of them, that's fine. Both of them back to back, that's a no. Is it mirroring against it? What the fuck is it? If I mirror you against the body. Okay, that works. That's good. Why is mirroring in the x-axis doing this? That's not how that should work. That's quite alright though. Wait a second. Does Blender 4 make it easier to just simply copy? Okay, so we can copy to selected at least. That makes it a little better. I mean, in the end, everybody is a little weird, right? Especially when we're on the internet. Nobody on the internet is normal, because if they were normal, they would be out, well, doing what normal people do. I don't know what the fuck normal people do. I'm reconstructing bones that I made in a digital environment. Do I look like I know what normal people do? Because no. No, I do not. Okay, so this one we should be able to pretty easily copy over, like 5 times. Actually, for the thumb, maybe not. I don't know, we'll see for the thumb. And then we'll have the arms done. And honestly, if we get the arms done in this stream, I will be very happy, and then we'll probably do the cloak. I'll do off stream tomorrow in my own time. I mean, there's quite a bit of overlap between film and game dev these days, especially if you're like into Unreal Engine, which is something that's obviously used for both. Corridor is a very good example of that. It's like a visual effects studio, but they use Unreal quite a lot these days. And if you're using Unreal anyway, you get into a little bit of blueprint scripting, and before you know it, you've made something interactive, and it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole that you could fall down into, and it's a very fun rabbit hole, matter of fact. There is a pretty good chance that I can just... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That I can get this one done pretty quickly by just like doing this. I really need a tablet with a monitor on it, like a screen tablet. That would make this entire thing so much easier. Add surface. Okay. That's not too bad actually. We can just like bridge these over. And then put one of those down, and that's pretty much... Okay, so the thing that just took me like 30 or 40 minutes to do on the other one, because this bone is so goddamn small, we can do this real quickly on this one, which leaves us with the annoying bit that we'll have to do next up, which I don't like. Hand bones. I should really organize these as well. Music is pretty cool to do that. That's like the one thing. Well, there's a lot of things that I can't do. I don't want to like make it sound like saying the one thing I can't do, meaning that I can do everything else. But that's like the one thing that I have absolutely no skill in, or even like chance of doing halfway decently. So that's definitely something to be happy about. Is making music. I mean, have you been looking at me? There's a lot of things that I fucking suck at, clearly. Like, none of this is particularly going all that well. Is this gonna go very easily? Actually... Surprisingly, I think that worked out decently well for me. Okay, that is a bit of a problem, but nothing that we can't deal with. Unreal 5 and Blender, yeah, that's it's quite fun how that works out throughout like multiple different industries as a good tool set. I don't think this is gonna work very well. Let's see, we can... Extra edge here. And then somehow this does actually work out to be a quad. But I don't think it has a particularly good flow to it. But might. Actually. Might not be that bad. If we arrange these in a little bit of a more sensical pattern. No, don't do that. Yeah, so I'm going to turn down the auto merging back to like 0.2. What the fuck even is this loop? What the... What? I thought this was pretty good, but apparently it's kind of fucked. That's disappointing. We can try and fix that in a moment. I'm still, as I said before, I think, quite new to this whole manually retopologizing thing, because frankly I was kind of banking on the fact that AI would develop faster for this kind of thing and that I wouldn't have to learn it. And yet here I am learning something that is, I still thoroughly believe, gonna be a pretty obsolete kind of job in a few years. But for the time being, I do have to do it. No, don't mirror, don't mirror, I want to merge by distance. Also starts with an M, that's why I didn't look any further than the first letter, which, yeah, that's a me problem. Again, this technically is a quad. And technically correct is the best kind of correct, right? That makes sense? Like, it's just this loop that makes, like, actually no sense. Like, what the fuck is even happening here? Like, we want that to run over there, and then it's running over there. Has to run over there. Okay. So, if we delete this face... It's not that face that's the issue. It is 1, 2, 3. It's this one. This one has... No, it also has 4 faces. Huh. Well, I would say Blender isn't that bad, but I'm currently fucking up real bad in Blender, so I'm going to refrain from making that comment. And I'm just going to pretend like I didn't just fuck that up. And we're just gonna move on to finishing this bone over here, because ain't nobody got time to do things properly. I mean, you do just talk about cheese quite a lot to begin with, so... That is not a bad guess to make. That's all I'm saying. And you know what? If the loops are all kinds of fucked anyway, I'm not gonna do any more modeling on this anyway. I know that's a bad excuse, but it's my excuse and it's my fucking model, so shut the fuck up. We might as well just rush through this a little bit more. We're gonna have a couple of triangles every now and then, so be it. Oh no, look at that, a triangle! Look at me, not giving a fuck. That's how you do it. Turns out if you don't give a fuck, this goes a lot quicker. And again, if I really cared about like the animation on these things, because they need to be able to bend, this might be an issue. But these are bones. I don't know if you've ever like looked at a bone, but they're not particularly well known for bending all over the place. They usually don't do that. So we've got one finger bone finish now. And I just looked at the time. We've been live for 2 hours. There's no way in hell that we're finishing this entire hand today, but we'll be fine. Let's see, maybe we add one more level of subdiv. Maybe we try to see if this happens to be... Yeah, no, none of these loops make sense. especially up here, they make absolutely zero sense. Here's a loop that makes sense. Holy shit. I suppose even adding in a loop on whatever the fuck this is better than adding an entire subdivision though. So let's just stick with that. And I mean, that's still pretty dense. Do we have to be that dense? I don't think we have to be that dense, to be honest. I think if we just turn off wireframes here and I shade smooth. I mean, this is literally a finger. And something... Oh, no. Something is fucked up here. Something fucked up. Let's just see if my magical merge by distance fixes things. It does not. Okay, we'll have to manually fix up whatever the fuck is going wrong here. I think I found possibly the source of a lot of these issues. No, it's just things clipping through a little bit. Still, the issues do result from somewhere around here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, I think we're... No, there's still some visual glitches going on here. But that might be phase orientation related. No, the phase orientation on them is all good. Then what is the issue? It seems like there's some weird hole here, but when I... Okay, let me check one thing. If backface culling is set to true, which I can set in here somewhere, surely. Does that issue resolve itself? It does not. Fantastic. Oh, hold on. It's because the alpha is... Yeah, no, it's just the alpha fucking with me. I got scared there for a moment, dude. Well, that'll do for now. Bone finger segment 1. And we'll copy that over. You see, this is just the same model stretched out a few times. So we should be able to just say, let's say that's 5 of them because it's 5 fingers, of course. So if we just go here into item and we take the I wish I could just like in Unreal select the entire transform. Because the idea that I have is to go over here. Hold on. Do they all have the same location? They all have the same fucking location, so it's not going to matter anyway. Okay, I'll just manually move them over then. And turn off snapping, because that's going to fuck me real hard. we'll just roughly align them for now. We'll get back to the more proper alignment in a moment. Just need them to be roughly in the same place. And that'll be good enough. And actually, it's much easier to just origin to geometry. Yeah, YouTube stats are a little fucked. It says there's only one viewer, even though there's two of you very clearly active in chat right now. So I don't know what the hell YouTube is on about, but it doesn't really matter. In the end, it does show the proper amount of views in my dashboard afterwards. So anybody who is coming into the stream does actually count as a view. It's just the live view counter is absolutely messed up. Like really, really messed up. That'll do for now. Then this one we can just copy over and hopefully just like pull over here, and then you know what? I think that works. Well enough for me anyway. Needs to be smaller. I'm not in edit mode, so I need to remember to apply scale. Okay, I think that'll do the trick. We can hide all of these now. And just like that, we've got the first finger segment for all the fingers done, because I was too lazy to model unique one to begin with, and that's also going to save me a lot of headache right now with the... something's weird with this as well. Fuck. Yeah, no, I do need to fix that. I do need to fix that. The question is, how am I going to fix that? Just like that, apparently. Sure. We can just do that. Is that a good fix? No. But again, I don't really care. It's the thing. For some reason, it doesn't seem to be having that issue on this bone, though, right? I mean, I'm happy that it doesn't. Which is the next bone? That's the next bone. So are these different bones or not, is the question. I don't remember. But I think what I can do is just not give a fuck again. If I just make these a little smaller and like squash them in a little bit. And then in sculpt mode, I will go through these and make them a little bit more unique again afterward. But for now, I think that this is like pretty good. Come on. You know what? I'm just going to go with that. That's a little too long. Hello, I need to scale you in your local C. Well, that'll be good enough. See, being lazy is a pretty good thing, because nobody's going to care about all of these bones being individually modeled. Again, I'll touch them up a little bit in sculpting mode in a moment, but I can show you the high-res version. This is the high-res version of the character, with like this cloak definitely covering up some of the uglier bits. I'm just really apologizing at the moment. I thought this was going to go a little quicker. It did not. Yeah, and then the third segment I can do the same thing with again as well, right? Like at least more or less. And then only the last segment do I need to actually do anything with again. Yeah, okay, so we can hide all of these again, because at this point they're just in the way. I don't like the way Blender moves things in 3D space. When you're just like dragging things around like this. It's not like it entirely doesn't make any sense, but it could definitely be better. Okay. Only thing I know about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is that MatPat is in it, and that Markiplier is not in it. And that's frankly also kind of the only thing I care about. Which is to say, I don't really care about anything at all, but I like some of MatPat's content, so I semi-care about that. Hold on, let's see. This guy had 1, 2, and then the third, so he does not need this one. Okay, cool. These finger segments are all ready to be mirrored. So we can... Yeah, no. Not this one. Let's select that one. Oh, I applied the mirror modifier on that one. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, not on this one. So we can select all of these. And we've got the hands. Nice. Why are the hands all the way over there? Oh, because this doesn't mirror on objects. Right, that's the issue. Now, where is the body? There we are. So this should mirror around this object. And this shouldn't have applied the mirror modifier here, but that's fine. We can just box select this side, delete everything, and then copy it to select it. Okay. So, how many vertices are we at the moment? We are at 42,000. And everything from here on is not going to add too much more geometry. So we're probably going to end up at like about 80k or something like that. Which is pretty good. Like, it could be better, but I will deal with 80k because this is painful enough as it is. And honestly, I think we're going to leave it there for right now. I need to let's make a separate collection for the high-res. And just everything that is called cylinder, move that to the high-res collection. Probably also this sphere, right? These two as well. Just turn on everything. This way we have one easy toggle between turning on and off the high-res models. So high-res. And these two I think we can just copy over, paste, and pull back into there as well. Because if we go into the wireframe, you can see that as far as like their density goes, they're pretty much where they should be at anyway. This one maybe could do with a little bit better topology, but we're not going to really animate this, so I don't really care. So that's pretty good. And now we can side by side compare. Let me turn off. No, not those two, but this one. And these should be in collection 1. Okay, so in the low res at the moment we've got 65,000 vertices, and we only need to do the fingertips and the cloak. In the high res we were at now we've got everything high res again. In high res we were at 34,000. So yeah, I think this has been worthwhile so far. That said though, the cloak itself is going to be a fucking nightmare to do as well. And that one does actually need to have somewhat workable edge flow, because that one is going to move about and deform quite a lot, because of course it's a cloth. So I'm not necessarily looking forward to that. But for that one I think I won't be modeling the inside and the outside. I will just be modeling the outside and using Solidify, and then just like messing things about and posing things back to where they should be in sculpting mode, which I probably should have done to begin with, to be honest, now that I think about it. But hey, we've got what we need. I mean, I'm talking about my model. It's kind of weird to come hang out in a live stream chat and then just like, you guys talk amongst yourself. That's fine. It's good interaction for the YouTube algorithm. I don't care. For now, though, let's close down this instance of the project and save this one. I mean, looking at these bones, actually, maybe I can unsubdivide them. Let's try decimating them just with unsubdiv. I mean, that's not great. What if we add a smooth modifier after that as well? No, that's not really helping much, is it? Yeah, let's just forget that. It's fine the way it is. Kind of. Okay, I'll use my stylus because my mouse is fucked. I mean, these are just like normal things, just purely shading issues, which should be less apparent in Engine, in theory. So that's fine. Yeah, okay, cool. And we'll leave it there for... no, I still see some... Is that to shade smooth? It is. I don't think this is gonna do much, is it? No, that probably made it worse, actually. Oh, that might have improved things a bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Cool. Okay, now I'm actually going to put my tablet to the side. We've been live for about 2.5 hours. I think that's pretty good for today. I'll probably finish up this model on my own time off stream, and then next time what we'll do is we'll start like rigging this thing up and UV unwrapping it. Well, first UV unwrapping, then we'll probably texture it, and then we'll rig it. And that I will probably do on stream because it's fun. Oh, maybe we'll do the cloak on stream as well. I don't know. We'll see. You guys, again, interesting conversation. Very, very interesting conversation you're all having in the chat. Very much related to what's going on the stream. So yeah, see ya.